You know why your employees don't trust you? Because you suck at your job. No, it's probably not that bad, but it certainly has something to do with you or you wouldn't be watching. However, don't be so hard on yourself because it is so common. Many leaders, bosses, managers, whoever we want to call ourselves, get promoted before they're ready. Or the company doesn't train you enough, they don't give you the tools and resources, they basically put you in the position and expect you to sink or swim. However, 58% of people will trust a stranger over their boss. That's from a Harvard Business Review. So if those stakes are that high, what can you do as a boss to get your employees to trust you? Before we get into the nitty-gritty, let me share a personal story with you. I had a leader that I had gotten along with very well for years, and we got along so well that it was sort of like a surprise to other people because, this person was known as a hard ass. But I'm very straightforward and he was very straightforward. So, somehow, we were able to work very well together. However, 3-4 years in, something happened between myself and another colleague. And this leader, we'll call him Bob, this leader did not ask me for my opinion, did not ask me for my side of the story, did not ask me anything, right? Even though we had a very strong 4-year, relationship, a work relationship together, he just automatically took the information from my colleague and assumed the worst. And the information from my colleague was also not 100% accurate, but things happen when people are emotional and everything, and I don't blame her or anything like that. That's not that kind of situation. But for all intents and purposes now, my boss, Bob, no longer trusted me. And so for me, I had trusted him all these years. I'd had a great relationship with him, but now I was walking on eggshells after something that was wrong, completely wrong information. And I never had an opportunity to share my story, right? And it was awkward. When we were going to go to team meetings, I had, gut rut. I'd feel sick to my stomach. Some of my other colleagues would actually see that there was something wrong with me because normally I'm just happy, bubbly, blah, 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 right? And people would come up to me and be like, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, "Oh yeah, I'm just not feeling so good, etc." But this situation was so bad that I started looking for another job, right? And I started thinking maybe I'm going to go on sick leave, because it was awkward. I was walking on eggshells. I was being micromanaged. There was 100% unfair treatment. I was never being shared any proper communication anymore. So I was expected to perform, but I was not given the information to do my job properly. It was so bad that at team meetings, Bob would go around and shake people's hands and greet them, and he would deliberately come in front of me and not shake my hand and continue. So everyone could see it, right? And let me tell you, it's very emotional even sometimes thinking about it, but it hurt, right? So we had to have a discussion, and as the leader, he never came to me to try to fix the situation. And I just didn't want to do this anymore. Considering we'd had such a great relationship for so many years previously, I just didn't want to work like this anymore. So as the employee now, I took it upon myself to actually speak with him and have like a bit of a screaming match to, understand what is going on, why is this happening? What is it in your mind that you think I've done that I know I haven't done, And somehow it worked, and Bob apologized and, said he wasn't perfect and he's sorry that he did this. He just got caught up on emotions, etc. The reason why I'm sharing this story with you is everybody is human. Everybody makes mistakes, right? And although as an employee, I felt extremely uncomfortable, I knew that I didn't want to be in that situation. And it is really the leader's job to fix the situation, but for some reason, that leader is also human. Bob is also human. And I'm not sure why, maybe it's pride or just busyness or whatever it was, but he wasn't able to do it. So I took it upon myself to do that. But as a leader, when you create those environments, you're making someone feel extremely uncomfortable, to the point sometimes, like I said, of wanting to go on sick leave. So after all of this happened to me, I feel like it can happen to anyone. And the reason why I say that is I consider myself to be a pretty strong and independent person, but I've had my fair share of shit along the way, right? So as a boss, if you don't want to make your employees feel crappy, then I've got 3 main tips for you. The first one, consistency. You've got to be consistent within your team, within your processes, your policies, and also to influence as much as you can within the greater organization. You can't let your great performer get away with things and micromanage or discipline the other performer who's a little bit lower. That's just not fair, So consistency is super important. And there's more details about consistency and some tips and tricks on conversations and what to do, how to say, how to position things in the guide just below. Number 2, transparency. Transparency is definitely on the top of my list. I find that it gets really sort of part of communication. It's also part of honesty. As a leader, you need to be honest. You need to be transparent. Now, if there's something that you can't tell your employee, you just tell them. It's above your pay grade. I can't tell you, right? However, you still need to be honest with someone. You can tell them those things. You have to be honest as well about how you feel about them, how their behavior is, what their performance is. Don't sugarcoat things. If you want to sugarcoat things, then eat a donut, right? Your employees deserve you to be transparent, and they deserve you to be honest with them. And my 3rd tip today is micromanagement. You can't micromanage your employees. I mean, that screams lack of trust. You have to be very clear and transparent on the parameters, the tasks, the duties that you want your employees to do, but then you need to let them flourish. But you also need to let them make their own mistakes. That's how we learn, right? So if you're looking for more guides and more information on these 3 tips, don't forget, click the link below. And I look forward to seeing you on our next video to give you more HR tips and tricks.